In the past, I've made reference to the fact that Star Trek when I was younger could do no wrong. No matter what show, I absolutely loved it. Now, that doesn't mean that every single episode I absolutely loved. There were some shows and episodes that were pretty weak, and definitely some characters that I am not fond of. Thinking about it, I think that there's probably at least one or two characters in every series that's kind of bothered me in some way, shape, or form. But one character in particular from TNG really, really gets on my nerves. And that, of course, is the character played by Will Wheaton, Wesley Crusher. Now, I don't have any personal issues against Will Wheaton himself, but the character he played, as time went on, I really started disliking this character. Now, at the beginning, I actually liked the character Wesley. Wesley came across as a very likable character. I mean, yeah, he was smart, intelligent. It was just nice to see someone around the same age I was back then who was a part of the Star Trek crew, and that was very exciting for me. Someone who was knowledgeable about computers and just became very informed on subjects that he was very passionate about, like any other person would be. His compassion for others was amazing to see. I really thought this was a good character at the beginning.
Captain's log, stardate 41263.4. For outstanding performance in the best Starfleet tradition, Wesley Crusher is made acting ensign with the duties and privileges of that rank.
And within the 6th episode, that's where things started to change for Wesley.
I know.
Good Lord, son, you didn't read that unauthorized biography. Is this all this boy does, Doctor? Fly the ship and read? Doesn't he ever have any fun?
As the series progressed, he no longer became relatable. From the moment he was promoted to an acting ensign, he suddenly became even more confident about his abilities, to sometimes coming across as a bit cocky and arrogant to me.
Ensign Crusher will be putting in some hours with us this week as part of his training duties.
You gotta check the flow capacitor. Breakdown of that could have caused a chain collapse of the anti-grav field.
He may be smart, but he comes across to me sometimes like he's cocky and arrogant, like he knows everything and he wants to show it off to the rest of the world. How insulting must it be for these officers to work around him? Yeah, he's helped them out. He's got them out of a few binds, but at the same time, this kid has even been given us a team to work with. He's been in charge of a team, a 17-year-old in charge of a team. He's never gone to Starfleet Academy, and yet these people are being ordered around by a 17-year-old. How does that make them feel?
What do you wish you had, sir?
Should have told him to mind his own damn business. I knew about the flux capacitor, but I didn't need to hear about it from some 17-year-old kid.
Someone as intelligent as Wesley should know when it is wrong to tear someone down, even if it's in fun. But he doesn't pick up on it. He just thinks it's hilarious to rip into Barclay.
And I shut him down. Poor Broccoli.
Now, Wesley's exit from the Next Generation was done nicely. He became a traveler, which I felt really suited the character. The next time we see Wesley is at the end of Picard Season 2, where he is a traveler coming to recruit Soon's daughter, Corey.
That's a very long and very complicated story.
Honestly, I've got nothing pressing.
Okay. A long time ago, I was known as Wesley Crusher. But now, I am a traveler of all of space and time.
At this point, you're probably asking yourself, okay, why the review of Wesley Crusher? What's the point of all this? Well, that's a very good question, and it comes to this. This article comes from Screen Rant. Will Wheaton wants a Jack and Wesley Crusher Star Trek team-up. I kid you not, people. Will Wheaton thinks that the people out there are wanting, or he thinks it would be perfect for Will Wheaton's Wesley Crusher to team up with Jack Crusher. It's like, we don't need this, do we? We've already said goodbye to the TNG crew, even though Patrick Stewart is pushing for a Picard movie. We've already said our goodbyes, and I think it was done nicely, and I do not see Wesley Crusher adding anything at all to the TNG saga anymore. As I said, we've done our goodbyes. I think this is a bad idea, and I kind of think that Will Wheaton is just trying to find a way to stay relevant outside of the ready room. So rather than read the article, I've got a video clip to show you, and we'll watch it and talk about it at the same time.
If anyone ever, if the story was right, wanted to do something that built a little bit on the story we implied at the end of Star Trek Picard Season 2, I would love to come back and be part of that. I would love to have opportunities to work with Ed Spaliers and be like, it turns out I'm your half-brother you never knew about. I'm kind of a super being. You're not supposed to know that I'm here. Things are going to get weird for you, but don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on you. I'm out. Those opportunities, if they were ever to arrive, it would be like getting a present in the mail.
It's a very interesting idea that I totally disagree with. If anyone ever, if the story was right, wanted to do something that built a little bit on the story we implied at the end of Star Trek Picard Season 2, I would love to come back and be part of that. I would love to have the opportunity to work with Edward and be like, turns out I'm your half brother you never knew about. I'm kind of a super being. You're not supposed to know that I'm here. Things don't need to get weird for you, but don't worry. I'm keeping an eye on you. Really? You're keeping an eye on him? Where have you been during Picard Season 3? You haven't been doing a good job, Wesley. Nope, not at all. If you were keeping an eye on him and that's what you call looking out for him, damn, please do not introduce yourself. Stay away because you didn't do good. I think I've made my opinion very clear on this character. I am not a fan of Wesley Crusher, and I just think that adding him to any more story regarding Picard would be pointless. And honestly, I think it's time to move on away from TNG. As long as the characters are made up, and as the new characters are made up respectfully, with showing respect and dignity for the source material, rather than making up a lot of nonsense and violating the premise of Star Trek, then I'm happy to move away from TNG. I think we've done all we need to do with Star Trek Picard and TNG, and it's time for something new. And thank you for the offer, Wesley, Will Wheaton, but no thank you. What do all of you think about all this? You think it's a good idea to have any more character or plot development with Wesley? I am not sure I want any more at all. I think we need to move on, as I just said. Drop your comments below and let me know. I'd love to hear them. And until the next time, my friends, God bless.